is to remind people that people have gone along the Irish water path with a message to Irish water and didn't get to dump it at the start. The green bin is now here, you can throw it in and stay nicely full with a selection of choice messages to John Cleary and Co. I want to remind people about something they would have seen about 3 years ago. An ad in the national newspapers saying, look what Fine Gael have in store for you, every little hurts. An ad by the Labour Party that set out all the bad things that Fine Gael would do if there was a single party government, if Labour wasn't sent in to protect the interests of working class people. Every single one of these things, every one of these promises have been broken by the Labour Party, including within it is a threat that Fine Gael would bring in a €238 per annum water tax. So people went and voted for the Labour Party to stop these measures which are about bailing out banks and bondholders at the expense of working class people. And what they have got is water charges that will very quickly, for an average family, be €500 a year or more. But people right across this city and right across the country are rising up in reality against these charges. In Edenmore, in Coolock, in Whitechurch, in Crumlin, in Drimnagh, in Cork, in Limerick, big meetings, 300 people at street meetings. We hadn't had street meetings in this country up until a few months ago, and massive meetings of people coming together to resist, to send a clear message to Irish water. So it's absolutely clear that there's going to be a fight on this issue, and there'll be a fight on this issue because people firstly cannot afford to pay. Secondly, because people know that even if they do pay, the money is going again to the bondholders, 8 billion this year, 8.5 billion next year, because it's part of a process of privatisation that will lead to greyhound happening within the water industry, with the likes of Veolia or Suez or Thames taking over, and because it gets to the heart of the lie that is all of the talk of recovery, any of the talk of tax cuts, because the water charges will more than wipe out any tax cuts given. What it is a recovery for an elite, for a 1%, paid for by the continued robbery of ordinary people, paid for by the water charges, for the likes of John Tierney, for the consultants, for the bondholders. There's going to be a fight on this issue. And the establishment is absolutely scared, and they're using every single one of their arms to try and defeat us. People will have seen in the last week, RTE, TV3, huge propaganda puff pieces about Irish water. They will have seen the Minister for Propaganda, that woman Elizabeth Arden or something, from Irish Water, telling us about all the good things that Irish water will do. Yesterday, they will have seen the arm of the law, the Gardaí, public order units, massive numbers, sent into the north side of this city to impose Dennis O'Brien's law, Dennis O'Brien's water meters on people who do not want them. The reason that they're responding in this way is because they're scared. Because they know, even if sometimes we don't know, that working class people power is an enormously powerful thing. That if people stick together, hold out, mobilise, protest, get organised, refuse to pay, we can beat these water charges. And if we beat the water charges, it opens up a broader battle against this government, against the whole austerity agenda. So what do we need to do? Firstly, we need a massive boycott of the Irish water packs. What that does is it sends a message to Irish water, and it sends a message to people that there's going to be a fight on this issue, that people are not going to lie down and accept these water charges. We need a revolt in the communities, as has already happened, against water metering. What that does, it blows a hole in Irish Water's plans. It brings communities together, like we've seen in Crumlin, in Drimnagh, in Coolock, in Edenmore, in Whitechurch, and it lays the basis for a big battle. We need a massive mobilisation, as Nikki said, on the 11th of October, with all the groups coming together to protest against the water charges. But then, it is going to come to this. It's going to come to January, and they're going to send you a bill. They want your money. They're not allowed to take it off you. They're not allowed to disconnect you. The question is, in January, are you going to pay the bill or are you not? No! Very good. But we're organised. We're at a protest, right? People left to their own devices with the bullying and the scaremongering by the media. Some people will say no, other people will not be able to pay, but other people may feel the pressure. That's why we need to get organised. It's why we need to be organised in a united way on every street, in every community, in every workplace. Because their weapons are fear and bullying and scaremongering. Our weapons are confidence, hope and organisation that will keep people together, that will give people the confidence to build collective non-payment. So we need to organise together. We'd encourage people to join the protest today at 4:30 in the Priory car park. We build the biggest protest possible together, and we organise it on a clear basis. We organise it on the basis of calling for non-payment. Mass non-payment with protest and political pressure is how we can beat the water charges. And every political group that stands with people against water charges must also stand for non-payment, must use their representatives to call for non-payment, must say we'll stand with people if people refuse to pay. On that basis, struggling together, mass political protest, mass political pressure, mass non-payment, we can beat the water charges and strike a massive blow against their austerity agenda. Thank you very much. We're just wrapped up here now in a second, folks. One other person that we would